For a price of around 500 US dollars, you will not get a more sophisticated yet well-crafted dial. That I can promise you, along with your enjoyment of this review. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any reviews, head-to-head or quick time. And follow me on Instagram and come along with me on my watch collecting journey. It took me a while to even start writing this review. And the biggest reason is that this watch has just one outstanding feature, and I simply couldn't write anything else about it. But after sitting on it for a while, I realized that maybe there is no need to get sophisticated and deep with this review. I just need to say it as it is. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this watch has just one thing going for it. Quite the opposite in fact. This watch, as with any other Seiko Turtle, has so many things going for it, but the dial just steals the show. So this review might be a short one. As always, let's start off with the case design. This is probably the most unique and recognizable case design of all dive watches at this price range. It is a clear evolution of the Seiko Captain Willet from the 1970s, with a more rounded silhouette. What sets the case design of this watch apart from other watches in this price range is the cushion shape and lack of hard angles, giving it a curvaceous and soft look. The whole top of the case is slightly and radially brushed, while the side of the case is highly polished. The back of the case is highly polished as well, but the case back itself has a dual finish. The outer ring is highly polished, while the first inner ring is very lightly brushed in circular motion. The brushing here is so light, it might not even show up on film here. The innermost ring with the Seiko Wave logo is highly polished again and raised off the back of the case just a little. Overall, the case is very simple and nothing much to write home about. So let's move on to the bezel. The bezel insert has a dual color finish. The 0 to 20 receives a dark gray finish, while the rest of the bezel insert is a deep blue. The markings are done in glossy white, which contrasts nicely with the metallic finish of the rest of the insert. The insert itself seems to be either aluminum or stainless steel. I can't confirm this, but one thing it has going for it is a special treatment that sets this watch apart from any other watches in this price range. Especially the other non-special edition Turtle is the radial groove on the insert. I much prefer this finish to either a flat aluminum or a flat ceramic insert. There is a certain level of sophistication that comes with this design. The bezel itself is easy to grip and turn due to the grenade-like pattern on the edge of the bezel. This gives your finger a good leverage and grip on it, and the resistance is just right as well. As for the sound of it, let's hear it. It is the distinct soft click that we know and love from Seiko. The window to the awesome dial is adorned with a flat hardlex crystal. After about 3 years of use, it is still scratch-free. The clarity is also adequate for the price. The crown is sunken into the case, providing a natural protection to it. The crown itself has a nice coin edging that makes it easy to grip, turn and operate. The screw-in action is also smooth. The tip of the crown again receives a radial brushing, which ties in with the whole ethos of design of this watch. Moving on to the dimension and movement within this watch. This watch has a diameter of 45mm, lug distance of 22mm, a thickness of around 13.4mm, and a lug-to-lug of 47mm. The lug-to-lug of this watch is remarkably short, despite the large diameter making it wears comfortably on the wrist, even on a smaller wrist. However, I will advise that your wrist be at least 6 inches if you want to wear this watch. The watch has the tough as nails 4R36 movement with 24 joules, 21,600 vibration per hour, and about 40-ish hour of power reserve. It will be easy to service in the long run and sometimes even cheaper to outright replace it. On to the star of this watch, the dial. At its core, this is a sunburst blue dial with a unique hue that represents the depth of the sea. It is stamped with a unique design of layers and layers of crashing waves and a hidden in plain sight shark fin. Can you guess where it is? At the 8 o'clock marker. This is the watch that made me fall in love with Seiko, and no surprise, it is also my first Seiko watch. The uniqueness of the dial makes me associate Seiko with artistry and craftsmanship, rather than with just simple watchmaking. The handset is similar to what you might find on other Seiko divers in this price range, but Seiko did something unique to this watch. They gave it a unique second hand, with the counterbalance receiving a shark fin design, setting it completely apart from other watches in this range, as well as other watches in Save the Ocean lineup. The markers are also a step up from the mini turtle I reviewed last year. They seem to be gloss coated rather than matte, lending to the whole watch feeling slightly more upscaled. They also receive a metallic border that seems to be sandblasted, making them shimmer but not reflect light like the one on the mini turtle. On the wrist, this watch sits comfortably due to the short lug-to-lug distance. The height is also a non-issue since most of the watch will sink into the well of your wrist anyway, but it won't fit under any tight cuffs because it wasn't designed for that. It is best worn on a casual or sporty occasion. The bracelet is comfortable and comes with a dive extension. The links themselves are solid, but as we are all accustomed to, the buckle is pressed and so are the dive extension. Nothing to write home about. If you have a Seiko in this price range, you know what you're getting into and you know what I'm talking about. As for the Lume, it's standard Seiko. This watch is 3 years old, so it might have lost a bit of that charm or a bit of that brightness, but it's still there, I still got it. Overall, I feel like this watch might be the best Seiko in Save the Ocean series because of the attention to details and its uniqueness, yet under the radar design approach compared to other watches from the lineup. Especially when we compare back to when Save the Ocean was still a relatively new collection from Seiko. It is the watch that made me fall in love with Seiko and will always stay in my collection. Stay tuned for my next video and don't forget to like, subscribe and share this review with your friends. Follow me on Instagram and see you next time. Peace.